KUAM TV8, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. New Jeep Gladiators up to $7,000 off now at Cars Plus. Named the best vehicle for adventure in 2024. Get your Jeep Gladiator today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
The man arrested in the death of a 3-year-old boy appeared in the Superior Court of Guam today to answer to charges to include murder and aggravated assault.
The toughest AG on crime says he's taking a compassionate approach to addressing Guam's substance abuse epidemic. Mitsuki Uriyama speaking with the Attorney General on what his new billboard is all about.
It's halfway through the competition for athletes here in Paris. I'm Nick Delgado with the latest as 4 more of our athletes get ready to compete this week here in Paris.
Half a day and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Tomas Manglona.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thank you so much for starting your week off with us.
Bail was set at $1 million for the man arrested on suspicion of murder of a 3-year-old boy. 27-year-old John Paul Sayama Charfaris appeared in Magistrate Judge Jonathan Kwan's courtroom Monday afternoon. He was assigned court-appointed attorney Terry Timblin after the public defender and alternate public defender withdrew. The bail amount was recommended by Assistant Attorney General Aaron Boyce, who believes Charfaris is a danger to the public given the severity of the crime. The boy's mother, 30-year-old Jonery Marie Cruz, appeared in court Friday and remains in the Department of Corrections prison on $3,000 cash bail.
According to court documents in surveillance video, officers viewed Charfaris as seen dunking the boy's head underwater multiple times while in distress, and he was punching him in a quote-unquote violent fashion along his rib, head, and facial areas while inside the pool. Cruz indicated she took her son to the Guam Regional Medical City and told staff he slipped and fell in the water and was in the water for over a minute. Cruz admitted that she lied and asked others to lie for her as well.
Over in the CNMI, 78-year-old Moses Pangilinan Cabrera was arrested and charged in the homicide investigation of his younger brother, 72-year-old Pedro Pangilinan Cabrera.
Police arrested Moses Cabrera on Sunday at a San Jose Village residence. Moses Cabrera was charged with second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, aggravated assault and battery, and assault with a dangerous weapon. Cabrera is detained at the Department of Corrections on a $250,000 cash bail. Pedro Cabrera's body was found at Garapan Fishing Base on Saipan along the shoreline on top of rocks last Thursday. He had several injuries to his face. Now, police said it is possible that an incident began in Cabrera's home in San Jose Village before his body was brought to Garapan. CNMI police are still looking into a second person of interest.
38-year-old David Anthony Schreier is arrested in first-degree criminal sexual conduct after a female minor known to him files a complaint with officers at the Dededo precinct. Court documents state that a 16-year-old girl was at Schreier's residence when he entered the room and inappropriately touched her. She went to the restroom and called relatives to pick her up. The victim also noted to officers this was not the first time Schreier touched her, sometime around June 2019.
She was asleep in a bedroom at a Timaning residence when Schreier sexually assaulted her. She told officers he did this multiple times within a span of 2 weeks. He was booked and confined at the Department of Corrections prison.
Now, with the primary officially over, all eyes are now set on the November general election. Your KUM News team was up through the weekend as results started coming in amid low voter turnout. Here's more as we are just about 90 days until the final race.
Yes, it's low voter turnout. But the thing to also remember is that our voter registry has gone up to over 60,000.
18.7 thousand voters showed up to the polls. 13.1 thousand Democrats and 4.8 thousand Republicans. Overall, 31.16% of voters showed up.
We try our best. Let us know how else to entice the voter to come in. Early voting is very efficient.
Precinct officials from Tamuning to Manharman noticed the low turnout. They left UOG Election Central around 9 p.m., just an hour after the polls closed on Saturday.
But the only problem was there was hardly any voters. Our precinct, the turnout of it was really poor.
The Guam Election Commission plans to certify the primary results at their August 16 public meeting. Democrat Ginger Cruz secured the top spot in the three-way party primary. KUAM's Destiny Cruz was there when Senator Amanda Shelton, who came in second, called Cruz.
Because I would really love to go to lunch and share some ideas and hear what your thoughts are.
KUAM's Matsuki Hirayama spoke exclusively with Senator Shelton as the primary night ended.
I'm disappointed, but the trend's showing us that Ginger is the victor tonight. We fought a very hard fight. We are very proud of the campaign that we carried over the last several months.
KUAM has reached out to former delegate Michael Saniklas for comment. Now leading the party's ticket, Cruz said she looks forward to the general battle.
Well, there's a lot more hard work to do. I mean, the fact that there were 3 Democratic candidates running against an incumbent, I think was a clear signal to the people of Guam that we can do better.
KUAM scheduled an in-person interview with incumbent delegate James Moylan, but his team said an emergency came up and asked to reschedule. Moylan garnered just under 4,000 votes as he is unopposed in the Republican Party. He said in a statement, "I would like to thank the people of Guam for not only coming out and expressing their civic right to vote, but for also providing me the opportunity to advance to the general election." And of course, we have full results from all races on KUAM.com. Tune in later as we'll have more coverage on the Hub this week.
Well, the Guam Department of Education is still preparing for a new school year, even as some campuses are expected to remain closed.
KUAM speaking with GDOE's superintendent about the next steps forward for Guam GDOE students during a training with more than 3,000 of its employees today.
Will it be the start of the new school year for 12,000 students this week? 18 Guam Department of Education campuses expected to have their doors shut come Thursday as they have yet to be inspected by Public Health. Bill 317, which sought to open schools pending sanitary inspections, failing to garner enough votes to pass through the legislature during emergency session last Friday. So what happens now? GDOE Superintendent Dr. Kenneth Swanson.
First of all, I have to get through a set of meetings today. The outcome of those will give us a lot of inclination. We have a plan to delay for a week like we did last year, but that if we had to close a campus, then we have to double those students up somewhere else. What we don't have the option of is not having school.
And while the next moves for this upcoming school year are still being sorted through, Swanson considering the logistics for more than a handful of schools ranging from the northern, central, and southern parts of the island.
Depending on the specific schools involved, it could be more or less complicated. Depending on location and transportation, there's a lot of logistics that go into that, to include food service and then think about the impact on parents and families.
Still, the superintendent making it clear Guam DOE is still moving full steam ahead with getting those 18 schools up to par, which Committee Chair on Education Senator Chris Barnett pointed out have been awaiting inspection since the start of school year 2023.
No intention of slowing down. We've got a team right now that didn't come to this training that are down at Marshall Sablon, finishing the work. The Public Health said, if you do these things, we're going to come back next week and check. And they worked all through the weekend. They're working today because we're not going to let it. I agree. This has to be corrected.
Swanson adding there are 50 staff members under Guam DOE's Facilities and Maintenance Division. For the complete list of the 18 GDOE schools, visit KUAM.com.
A new billboard by the Attorney General's office is taking a more compassionate approach this month. It's for a pilot program called the Dignity Project, where those struggling with substance abuse can have a safe space to eat, sleep, shower, do laundry, and find employment.
Matsuki Hirayama has more.
In stark contrast to past controversial billboards like the Deport Air program and one even depicting a woman shooting a meth addict in self-defense, this month's billboard, erected by the Attorney General's office, is sending a more compassionate and humanitarian message.
Whether it's alcohol, drugs, or just being hard up on life, there's a homeless community out there that needs the help of our government. And right now, this is an available resource that we can use towards helping out those less fortunate, the homeless.
AG Doug Moylan says the Dignity Project aims to provide a safe space for those struggling with substance abuse who find themselves homeless, a place to eat, sleep, shower, do laundry, and find a job for the night without fear of prosecution.
But it's targeted towards only an evening, and mobilizing and working with other team members, which we're in the process of soliciting, like Public Health, Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness, Salvation Army, Catholic Social Services, TOGI. There's a whole group of providers out there that are giving services to our meth addict community.
The billboard uses imagery from Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam to symbolize the program's intent.
Is essentially where you have a higher being and you have man, and man always has the struggles of life's problems and striving for something better than he is or she is. And that is what we think embodies the program that we put together.
A holistic approach aiming to tackle the root cause of Guam's meth epidemic. Moylan says this doesn't mean he's pivoting away from his Tough on Crime platform.
We're not here to hold the hands of meth addicts, and I've said that before. We're here to provide a limited help for them that they can have available if they want to help themselves.
He points out meth addicts can also be crime victims.
You got the full gambit of violent and nonviolent crimes. They're stealing from one another. You see rapes that are going on. You see terrorizing, and then the murders. One of the murders, the most recent murder, there's an indication that it might have been drug-related. So, in fact, the last three are drug-related in 2024.
Plans for the Dignity Project has been underway for over a year and is still in the process of soliciting partner agencies and nonprofit groups. The pilot project is projected to cost about $1.3 million from the Opioid Recovery Trust Fund and is designed to have 20 meals and rooms a night to be available for 365 days. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
We'll be right back.
Something is calling, and I can't help it. That's not belong when there ain't no soul. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when I make a move. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when let's take a break. There's no use. My mood when I make a move. This is my mood when
Hey Nick, you going viral? Yeah. I don't really try, I'm just athletic. I ain't really high, I'm just level-headed. Tell me why the click looking magnetic. Tell me in the city when I'm back in it.
Going for Gold is presented to you by Prime Hydration and C2O Coconut Water, distributed by PDC Wholesale.
They're the talk of the town as Regine Tugade and Joseph Green had all of us riveted as they competed in their 100-meter sprint events in Paris.
That's right, and the people that know them best, the athletes that have inspired them, grinded alongside them, competed against them, and who were taken under their wings, tell Regine and Joey stories in their own words.
It's amazing what she was able to accomplish, advancing to the, past the initial rounds, and to have a chance to run again. It's something that, all the Olympians before her, aspired to do. And, just seeing it actually happen was, it's incredible.
For us, it means everything, because now that Regine has crossed that threshold, she didn't make it in prelims in Brazil in Rio. She didn't make it past prelims in Tokyo. And now that she has finally broken that barrier and she's made it into round 1 of any athletics competition for anybody that we've sent, that means that it's possible for us.
People look up to what Regine has done and what Joseph has accomplished. And I'm sure that they're going to continue to do well. They're going to continue to train, and there are others that are out there. They're training on their own. They're out of high school. They're training on their own, and we just need to support them as much as we can.
I'm really proud of Joey, but I think he's a really good teammate to have. He's very positive. He's always, keeping the good vibes in check, especially because I know sometimes my sister can just be so laser focused. So it's good that he's around to, help, ease the nerves basically.
To watch Joey grow up it's amazing. To see him go from, I don't know about track, to all of a sudden track is everything and he's now the next generation.
She really motivates me to do better. Seeing her in the Olympics this year, it motivates me to do better, training hard. Maybe I could make it to the Olympics in 2028.
This is one of the biggest stepping stones that we are ever going to have currently, because now Regine is going to be seen as oh, if Regine can do it, then so can I.
Through what she's done, through her education, through her job, but then mainly through sports, because this is what she's, this is what she's proud to do. This is what she's living for.
Going for Gold is presented to you by Prime Hydration and C2O Coconut Water, distributed by PDC Wholesale. POV is brought to you in collaboration with United Airlines. Special thanks to the Office of the Governor of Guam.
Well, the games are revving up in Paris, and more from Team Guam and Micronesia will unfold as the athletes are ready to take the global stage this week.
Nick Delgado has more.
Bonjour and half a day from Paris. It's halfway now through the 2024 Summer Olympics here and halfway through the roster of Guam's athletes. We have 4 more sets to go this week, but let's do a recap of where we are so far.
The global stage for Team Guam began with judo athlete Maria Escano, who took to the mat against Guinea's Mariana Esteves. She put up a strong fight against her good friend, but ultimately was outgripped, putting an end to her Olympic journey this round. Escano saying she will come back stronger. Then Team Guam's Minami Ejima joined dozens of triathletes as they were the first to brave the waters of the River Seine. From swimming to cycling, Ejima was on the move. That's until she took a nasty spill on a wet Paris road, ending the competition for her. Still, a groundbreaking moment, Ejima was the first from Guam to compete in the Olympic triathlon. On the track, Regine Tagati made moves fast enough to advance her from the women's 100-meter event prelims. Micronesia's fastest woman competed against some of the world's fastest. Tagati saying she was honored and feels blessed to be going up against women she looks up to. And getting his season best time, Joseph Green, breezing down the track in the men's 100-meter event. His time was a best, though he did not advance from the prelims. It was his Olympic debut, and he says he's looking forward to the next competition, ready to go, foot still on the pedal. The competition from each also worked up an appetite, so here's a look at one of my Parisian meals at Café de Paris. A glass of wine to start, rib steak with fries, a great pairing as you can imagine for any athlete, and washed all down with dessert, server's choice, French toast-style brioche, salted butter caramel, and vanilla ice cream. A sweet transition into week 2 of the games. Team Guam's Raquela Aquino and Mia Aquino in wrestling, Nicola Legato in weightlifting, and Raina Taitingfeng in canoe.
It's been a great experience so far. Halfway through our trip and halfway through the roster for Team Guam, we of course will bring you the latest results on their competitions in the days ahead. Nick Delgado, KUAM News, Paris.
Destiny, would you eat any balutin from next few hours flight?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
It must be dinner time, but you know what? You can watch the Paris 2024 Olympics on Peacock.
That's right.
Now, in other news over the weekend, docking Sunday morning at Naval Base Guam was the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. It's the ship's first port call of the year. Commissioned in 1989, the Abraham Lincoln is led by Commanding Officer Captain Pete Reeb and is the flagship for Carrier Strike Group 3, leading CSG-3 is Rear Admiral Aiden Cruz. We should know that several crew members are proud Guam natives are excited to return to visit friends and family during their time here.
And along with the time to tour the island, getting some rest and relaxation and resupplying the ship, crew members will also take part in several community service events to include youth mentorship, trail cleanups, and beach cleanups. Well, all summer long, we have been recognizing the top students from Guam's high schools.
Closing out head of the class, we head to Guam Adventist Academy.
Hi, my name is Kuam, and I'm the valedictorian for the graduating class of GAA. Some of the highlights of my high school career, our indoor volleyball team, we ended up placing second overall, so that was pretty good. My partner Jack Keith and I, we won the beach volleyball championship. Our senior class, we ended up going on a trip to Korea, and then we went a couple months later on a trip to Japan. And then later on in the summer, I had the opportunity to attend the Congress of Future Medical Leaders in Boston. So those are my highlights from this year. I'd say all of my teachers have made a difference in my life. But if I had to choose, I'd say that Mrs. O and Mrs. Sarai Vega have made the biggest impact in my life. They believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. They helped me to keep pushing further. So I believe I'm a better person because of them. I plan on attending the University of Kuam, and I will be pursuing a major in the biology/pre-med program. And after college, I plan to attend medical school to become a doctor. My message to my underclassmen is to keep exploring and to find your passion. Decide who you want to be, and then prove it to yourself every day with small wins. And no matter how big your dream or your goal is, don't be afraid of failure. Failure is just success in progress. So use your time now because you're young, and fail a lot and fail hard and fail to the top.
Hi, my name is Alana McKeever, and I'm the salutatorian for the graduating class of GAA. Some of the highlights from my high school career is playing indoor volleyball and beach volleyball here, and also our senior class trip to Korea. I had lots of fun memories there, and it was very exciting. My biggest mentor in my life, I would have to say, is my mom. She's the best businesswoman I know, and she's always supporting me, and she wants me to do my very best. She's always teaching me things that I can do in my future that will help me in the long run. My plans after graduating is to go attend college in Tennessee for 4 years, and then hopefully go to grad school to get an MBA. I'm going to be majoring in accounting. My message to the underclassmen would be to work hard and focus on your studies and also anything that will help you pursue your future careers, but also to enjoy your youth and have fun while you're still in high school, and always plan ahead for the future.
Head of the Class of 2024 is proudly presented by Office Smart. For all your craft and supply needs, visit them at the Star Building in Upper Tumon today.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view from the beautiful Inalahan.
Get ready to soak up the savings this summer at Kmart. Since 1995, Kmart has been the ultimate summer destination for everything you need. From groceries to outdoor living to everyday fashions for the family, we've been there for you. 24 hours a day. Kmart is committed to saving you time and money by offering big international and American brands you know at prices incredibly low. Whether you're finding the perfect shade for that summer glow in our beauty care aisles, firing up your summer cookouts from top brands like Weber and Kenmore, or gearing up for those outdoor camping and beach adventures, Kmart's your one-stop shop for an active, fun-filled summer. So, join the fun and soak up the savings. You'll find everything you need and more, only at Kmart, the ultimate shopping destination in Guam, where savings, quality, and summer fun meet under one roof. Kmart, your 24-hour superstore.
This burger looked at one slice of melted cheese and said, more cheese. It looked at pickles and said, also onions. It wanted to be more than hot. It wanted to be juicy. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese. If you thought one napkin for the Quarter Pounder with cheese was enough, it's not enough.
All right, everybody, there is a call out if you want to join a 20-member delegation to take part in the 2024 Fiesta Folkloriada Festival in Manila in the Philippines. This is awesome. They need musicians, dancers, and other types of people with a flair for the performing arts and a love of culture. Please make sure to scan the QR code and apply and show your stuff. All right, tickets are on sales now for the 2024 Fanatsu Famalawan Elevate Her. Elevator. I love the wordplay. Elevator. Elevate Her. It's like how Regine Tugati made herstory. I love that. I'm all about that. Get ready to plug into infectious energy and experience keynote speakers, master classes, dynamic panel discussions, and much more. I'm running out of breath. Early bird pricing is available until August 19th. Make sure that you get in. And if you're in Rhoda, catch your breath for that one too, because to recognize World Breastfeeding Week, there is going to be a Rhoda breastfeeding celebration on August 13th and 14th at the Health Center in Wing E. It is awesome stuff happening on the island. All you got to do is get involved.
Now to your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutouts.
Submitted on KUAM.com.
Happy birthday to Carmen Meno. Happiest birthday, Mama. Love you forever with all the affection in the world coming from Sam. Happiest of 5th birthday to our handsome broski. This is Zion Vincent Pukagui, aka Little VJ. You have definitely grown up to be the mirror image of your angel daddy. Watching you grow each year is the greatest gift from God up above. May your day be filled with lots of God's love and blessings and lots of family and support as well. You are la 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 loved by all of us, especially your Bellator's familia in heaven and on earth. Cheers to another amazing and blessed year. Great shout out, guys. Wonderful. And Megan Guerrero, happiest of belated birthday. Blessings to you, Meg. Love from Nina and the family.
That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Tomas Maglonia.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
"80 years since Guam was liberated from Japanese occupation." Hafaday, I'm Nick Delgado. Welcome to a KUAM News special, My Liberation Hero. Tonight, we recap some of the stories that we told you throughout the month of July as we celebrated Guam's 80th Liberation Day. Left behind in the middle of a war and rescued by a stranger, Cynthia Tenoria Terlahi shares her survivor's story this time each year. She was 7 when Japanese troops invaded Guam. Decades passed before Terlahi would reunite with the man who saved her life.
The time at Maningo at the camp, I was left alone over there, so I felt myself abandoned. And then people were running different directions, going to, because of the bombing and everything. The Japanese coming after us. And then, finally somebody was passing by, and then we heard a child crying. And then he went inside to investigate, and he says, "Well, who's with you?" And he says, "My parents, And he says, "There's nobody here." And he says, "I'm not going to leave you here. I'm taking you with me." We walk, in the jungle area, but we walked, I think, for about 2 days. And then we end up in Agat. So he handed me over to the military, dispensary over there. And that was the last time I saw him until 35 years after my marriage when I saw him. And I found out who he really was. And, that's when my husband didn't believe me of my story. And then when he started telling his story, he says, "Oh my God." And then, when he was, telling his story there too, my husband was just shaking behind me, He said, "I can't believe it, And over here, without him, I won't be here today.
What do you want to share with, all your fellow war survivors here today? Do you want to say anything to them?
Well, I just want to tell them, don't forget, don't worry about your age, it's just numbers. And here I am going on 90 already, Yeah, go for it, I just got back right in the go-kart over there in Saipan. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a badass mom.
Abused by Japanese invaders and forced to march at only 6 years old, war survivor Ignacia Perez Dueña Sigüenza recalls her rough childhood during World War II and the years leading up to Guam being liberated.
I was just only 6 years old when the war came, 1941. After that, we moved up to what you call that in Naval Mac in Finner, with my brother. Then after that, we had to move up to Tumnyangun. It's so difficult, And my dad passed away during the Japanese time. So it's only my mom that is the one that raising us now.
How did you guys make it through? I know that you mentioned it was a difficult time. So how did you guys make it through that time?
It was only my parents and my older brother.
How does it feel to be here today to reflect on that time?
I'm so happy, you know. Especially when the American came, you know, when the American came to, after that we had to move down to Agate, and after Agate we moved up to Santa Rita with my mother and my sibling brothers and sisters.
And what's a message that you'd like to send to all of your fellow survivors here today?
I was just talking to my husband and my cousin next to me, you know, and said, oh, look at all this power, there's still a lot. But I know all of them, but I forgot the name because we are in different village. Who are you? Then he told me, oh, you are my cousin or whatsoever.
Whoa, small world, right?
It is,
right?
It is.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Ordered to move from their home in Hagåtña to Chalampago and then to Menangan with her siblings' father and pregnant mother, war survivor Natty Calvo was only 4 years old when the island was liberated.
My dad said, my mother, go ahead and pray out there, Hagaho. Hono dyan nagondigiji. Lokumulibet kanairi, palogun at sadidiko Hagaho. Go ahead and pray out there in the Lord. Durant, beautiful place. But whenever you see the plane, please run as fast as you can and run down, slide down to the call it a cave that my brothers and my dad down in the valley in Chalampago. I would just zoom down to the level ground, and I kept laughing when I went into the cave. And my oldest sister said, shh, Pakaka, be quiet. And I kept giggling. And I was wondering why? Why am I to be quiet? I'm enjoying myself. I'm so young. Okay? And then he said, just be quiet. So I listened. We'll move out from Hagåtña because of the Japanese bombarding Sumay. We're all told to leave Hagåtña and go to all our land where we found during the weekdays. So definitely I had to move my dad, my mom, my brothers and sisters, much older than I was. And we did go to Chalampago. That's probably more than 10 miles. But walking is something else. And my mother is a big stomach, carrying a baby the day before false liberation. My mother had a daughter, a baby girl. So, thank God that this year my sister will be coming to celebrate with me, my nieces and nephews, my brothers who are living, her 80th year birthday. She's gonna be here.
Surviving the bombing of Pearl Harbor at the start of World War II and one of the concentration camps in Inalahan at the tail end of it, we continue our KUAM News special, My Liberation Hero, with Bill and Mary Paulino, who honor their late parents' history. KUM's Destiny Cruz shares the story of her papa and grandma.
For our war survivors who have since passed on, they never truly leave us. Their stories and experiences are kept alive in the living and breathing proof of their survival, their children. My papa, Bill Paulino, is the son of Tun Juan and Rosa Paulino, who alongside his siblings and many more Chamorro people in Inalahan and on the island, endured unthinkable atrocities during the Japanese occupation of Guam. He was born several years after the war into a different village than they knew.
What happened was that they divided Inalahan people in 4 different groups, 4 concentration camps. My parents were sent to Pajestes, and in that area there was only one smoke cave, and the only ones who were allowed to be in that smoke cave were the babies. Other than that, they would sleep, under the rain or whatever it is that came their way during that time. It was really horrible.
He recalls his mother sharing a profound moment when she clung to her faith during what was supposed to be a death sentence.
Japanese soldiers came, about 10 of them, and they went to Pajestes, and they intended actually to march them to Manengun to be all killed, as well as the other concentration camps here in Inalahan. That's what they intended. So in the middle of the night, they woke up everybody and they made everybody just stand right there in line. And so my mother took out her Holy Rosary.
Despite threats from the soldiers, everyone at the camp also joining in on that prayer.
And this soldier had a gun, and he told everybody after the Holy Rosary was over to start running. And nobody wanted to move. So he hollered at them again. There were 18 other families, and the families were huge. Finally, my parents decided to just grab all their children and start running.
Incident happening at the tail end of the war. Meanwhile, my grandmother Mary Paulino's liberation hero story stems from the start of it. Thousands of miles away in Hawaii, her father Jesus Leon Guerrero was serving in the Navy during the bombing of Pearl Harbor.
On board the USS Oklahoma, that's the ship that was bombarded by the Japanese in Pearl Harbor. His ship was, I don't know how he survived that war.
It was a painful memory, sometimes too difficult for him to share.
A lot of military men were killed because they either drowned in the ship or they couldn't escape. My dad said they tried to open the hatch, but it wouldn't budge.
My great-grandfather eventually moving back to Guam to start a life.
After the war, in 1944, he met my mom.
My great-grandfather's return to Guam marked the beginning of a new era for our family, an era built on resilience, strength, and the unbreakable spirit of our ancestors. Our family story, like that of many Chamorro families, is one of survival against all odds, a testament to the unbreakable will of our people. For those who endured the war, the memories may be too painful to recall in full, but the lessons and the legacy they left behind will never be forgotten. We honor them by remembering their sacrifices, by sharing their stories, and by living our lives with the same courage and determination that defined theirs. As long as we remember, they will always be with us.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Surviving the war in Guam, my late grandparents Maria Fujikawa Delgado and Francisco Delgado are my liberation heroes.
Here is the war. It started in 1941, December 8, 1941.
This is the story of my liberation hero. Her name, Maria Fujikawa Delgado. She's my grandma, who shared her story with me 7 years ago in July 2017.
I just go crazy because the Japanese airplane was flying above us, and then someone is yelling, they bombed the Sumai Bay already, where all the militaries.
The Japanese occupation of Guam, Grandma and the family were forced to hide.
We have to run and hide in a farther place, not in Hagania.
The Fujikawas ended up in Hagania as the war intensified.
So we stayed there until they decided that the war will be more worse for them because they have to fight now at that time, and the Americans are coming to what you call that,
to help you.
Mm-hmm. So that's the time that we started to be moved out to Maningo.
An uncertain time for Grandma, with the family name also being Japanese.
It's just that I'm always scared too because I'm so young and I don't know what am I going to happen to me with the Japanese. But we were well protected by the Japanese because we are half caste Japanese and our father is pure
Fujikawa.
Yes, yeah. So the respect.
Great Grandpa Masayoshi Antonio Fujikawa was a businessman, not with the enemy forces, but still forced to flee the island for his safety, separated from Grandma and the family for nearly 2 decades. Our now Delgado family grew with Grandma there for us.
And then sometimes you put ponytail in your hair.
Yeah. A happy moment, opposite from the heartache my family experienced on April 16th, 2024. We sent Grandma up with her angel wings to join my other liberation hero, the Delgado brothers' very own Francisco Delgado.
He ended up at the camp. That was the story that you always mention about it.
Grandpa, who passed in 2015, shared his story with my sister Nicole.
We were forced to go down to the plaza where the plaza is, the residence. They registered us, and they put a band on our arm, and that band has to be there all the time. White band.
In Manangan marked a prisoner of war in his own homeland.
For several months we stayed there. I see a lot of dead Japanese in the water right down in the river. One on top of the mango tree hanging his head down.
It's these stories, now 80 years old, that keeps us connected to our past. And Guam, now ready to honor and celebrate the greatest generation. And for me, the greatest grandparents, my liberation heroes. There are so many liberation heroes who we honor and who we've remembered for the past 80 years. The community celebrating this major milestone for the island on July 21st, 2024 during the parade in the capital of Hagåtña, a time that goes beyond the floats, performances, and food shared along the route. It's a moment for Guamanians and others to be grateful for the sacrifices made and the freedoms we each get to enjoy today. Among the many returning for the 80th Liberation Day is Lydia Leon Guerrero Smith, my Auntie Rosie, and my liberation hero.
What do I recall? Oh, a lot of stuff. I recall the first day the planes flew over the island, and that was December the 8th, 1941. And we were in Padu. If anybody knows Padu, it's not too far to Agana. The sirens blew, the siren keeps going on, come on and off, and we were startled, me and Mama. We're getting ready to, we were preparing to take our great-grandmother up to Maga, where you know where Maga is at. It's up in Manila where the family lives. So when the siren starts blowing, everybody was like, what is going on here? And then we heard the planes just coming back and forth, and they look up. When we look up there, they said, oh my gosh, yep, it's a Japanese plane. Because you could see they saw the emblem and everything. And they started to go, start shooting down. Well, we had to run and hide in between all the bamboo groves. So our attempt that day was to go down the well to go do laundry for great-grandmother, because we were going to take her up from Padu to Maga. So that ended that trip of going down to the well to do the laundry, and we all ran back to the house where great-grandmother was. And then Mama and I finally had to start back to Maga. And we just walked through the back ways between Padu, Totu, and Maga, all to the back roads and the brushes. So Mama and I just started walking around, and then here we heard the airplanes again, and him going up around. Mama will grab me and lay right on top of me. We hit the ground, and we ran and ran and ran. Whenever it sounds clear, Mama will pick me up, drag me around, and just start running and running to the brushes. And finally, I would say maybe in my memory there, I just think that maybe we did this for like about 30 minutes or so, run, hide. And then we finally made it up to Maga. So that was the beginning of that day, 1941.
You're how old?
Excuse me?
And how old were you?
I was 3 years old. 3 years old. Yep. And so then, so the Japanese came around. They built their camp not too far from Grandma's house, or Grandpa's house. And after that, memory is really very short then, because we haven't done anything. All we do was stay in the house. We were not allowed to go outside because all the able-bodied people in the family, they all have to go out to work, whatever the Japanese people want them to do. So they all leave early in the morning, came home late in the evening, and my great-grandmother, your grandma Edna, and myself, we all always stay in the house all the time.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Well, yeah. We don't do anything but just stay there, wait for the elders to come home, prepare our food, and you do the same thing over and over for maybe 3 years, 41 to 44. the announcement came that we were supposed to go to camp, concentration camp. So we had to go all the way to Price School. Family members gathered there, and that's where we assembled. So from Mega to Price, and then we started our march to Manyangan that evening. So I was just like 5 years old at the time. I walked all the way from Manila, from Price School, all the way to Manyangan. But then by the time we got to Manyangan, it's probably like maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just to my estimation, is what I could recall. So when we got to Manyangan, they propped me up and my sister Edna, my great-grandma, underneath the coconut tree. And they took all the able family members to go gather material to make a shelter. And that morning, I believe it was 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, when we got to Manyangan, I became ill. Right away, I went into convulsion. And from that time on, my memory, I cannot remember days or, days, hours, stuff like that. And I became, I was really very ill because I could not even, I was like paralyzed. I could not move my body. The only thing that I could move in my body was my head, left to right. And I was that way until 1944 when liberation came. We were transferred from Manyangan to another camp. I don't know what the camp was called, but it is someplace behind Zonia. And we were there probably for maybe about a week when they finally announced that the U.S. troops are on the island. We are liberated. I got a little bit better probably about maybe a month or so after they brought us back to my camp. Because I had to go to like the dispensary and get x-rays, blood work, etc., etc. So it took me a while to recover. I believe within maybe a year or so, then I started getting better where I could get up and walk, be able to eat because I didn't have any appetite or anything at that time. And then after that, well, let's see what happens next. We were back to our home in Mega, and then within months, we were asked to move out of the place again because the Marines were going to use the property for their camp. Mega, where everybody is at right now. So, that was like, it's hard telling my feelings about that. I was young. I was very young, like I said, going on 6 years old at the time we got liberated. But all that memory that I have there just stuck to me from the very first day that the enemy planes were zooming back and forth, the run and hide and hit the ground thing. I mean, that stuck to my mind up to this time. I will never forget that. I feel really very fortunate in a way, though, that, things could have been worse for me or our family, but I'm still here.
86 years later, well, maybe let's just say 80, not 86. I was 6 years old at the time, or close. You know, Nick, it's so different now as it was then. But for you younger generation, I don't know. I just hope that things would be better, you know, that you will not have the experience that I've had, because it's just not a good feeling. So the younger generation, just open up your mind, your heart, and learn how to take care of yourself, your family, and help the world to get together and try to live in peace.